noticed that something in your house has moved just an inch from where you left it? A kitchen drawer left cracked open? A damp towel you didn't use? I thought I was alone in that old Victorian house in Pennsylvania. I really did. But last night, I heard it. A rhythmic, wet breathing coming from inside my bedroom wall. And when I took a hammer to that drywall, when I saw what was staring back at me through the insulation, my entire world collapsed. My name is Emily. I'm 22 years old, and for the last 90 days, I've been sharing my bed with someone I never even knew existed. Before this video ends, you're going to want to check your own walls, because he doesn't just watch, he waits.
My name's Emily. I'm 22. I live in a quiet, older neighborhood on the outskirts of Pennsylvania. I moved here about 3 months ago, right after finishing college. It was my first real place, just me and my dog, Max. I thought I was finally starting my life, getting that peace and quiet I'd always wanted. But looking back, that peace was just the silence before a total nightmare. At first, everything felt normal. It's an old Victorian-style house, so yeah, the floorboards creak and the walls groan. I just figured it was the house settling. But about 2 weeks in, I started noticing this smell. It was faint at first, like wet dog or old rotting wood trapped behind the drywall. I scrubbed every inch of that place, lit candles, plugged in every air freshener I could find, but the smell, it just wouldn't quit. It felt like the house was breathing with me. Then came the nights. I'd be dead asleep, and suddenly I'd just snap awake. My heart would be racing for no reason. I'd lie there, paralyzed, eyes wide open in the dark. The silence was so heavy, it felt like it was pressing down on my eardrums. And then I felt it. The corner of my mattress would slowly, ever so slightly, dip down, like someone had just sat on the edge of the bed by my feet. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I stayed like that for what felt like hours, until the weight just lifted. I'd bolt up and flip the light on, but the room was empty, just me and my shadow. Over the next few days, the weird stuff turned into terrifying stuff. I'd wake up and find the bathroom mirror all fogged up, like someone had just taken a long, steaming shower right before I got in. My toothbrush would be damp. And the worst part? My kitchen drawers were always just a tiny bit open. I'm not crazy. I know I closed them. I have OCD about that stuff. But every single morning, they'd be cracked open. I started getting these headaches, a dull, rhythmic thumping that seemed to come from inside the walls. Thump, thump, thump. At first, I thought it was the pipes, but the thumping followed me. If I was in the kitchen, it was in the kitchen wall. If I moved to the living room, the sound moved with me. It was like something was pacing me on the other side of the paint. One afternoon, I was in the basement trying to find the source of the sound. I noticed this tiny, jagged hole behind my wardrobe. It was so small, you'd miss it if you weren't looking. I poked my finger in and I felt it. The wall was hollow. I grabbed a hammer and started knocking. A small chunk of the drywall crumbled away, and a gust of cold, stagnant air hit my face. It smelled like death. I widened the hole. What I saw in there, I still can't close my eyes without seeing it. There was a crawl space, a narrow, hidden passage that wound all the way around the interior of the house. It was a labyrinth of dust and decay. I crawled in with my phone light, my heart hammering against my ribs. There was a filthy, stained mattress on the floor. On top of it were some of my own t-shirts, clothes I thought I'd lost in the laundry. There were empty food containers, the stuff that had been disappearing from my fridge. But then I saw the wall. It was covered in photos of me, hundreds of them. Photos of me sleeping, photos of me in the shower, photos of my hands, my feet, extreme close-ups I never knew were being taken. And there were dates written under them in dark, brownish ink. Dates going back years. This person hadn't just been watching me, they'd been watching every girl who lived here before me. I wanted to run, but my legs felt like lead. Then, in the corner of that dark tunnel, I saw an old digital recorder. I reached in with shaking hands and hit play. The recording starts with heavy static, then a wet, raspy voice. It's 2:14 a.m. Emily just rolled over in her sleep. Her breathing is so sweet. I'm going to sit even closer to her tonight. She's so beautiful when she doesn't know I'm touching her. I wonder if she'll taste like the last one. My stomach turned. The last one? Suddenly, the recorder cut to a different sound. It was the sound of me screaming, but I wasn't screaming now. It was a recording of me from 2 nights ago when I had a nightmare. He had been standing right over me, recording my terror. I spun around to find my phone, and right then, every light in the house blew out. Total darkness. A massive storm was hitting outside, and the rain was slamming against the windows like someone was trying to punch through the glass. And then I heard it, coming from inside the wall, right behind my head, a voice that didn't even sound human. A low, dry, raspy whisper. "Emily, why are you looking inside? I'm already out." I fumbled for my flashlight and swung the beam up toward the ceiling. My heart literally stopped. In the corner of the room, right above the ceiling fan, a man was crouching. His bones were twisted at impossible angles, like he'd broken his own limbs just to fit into those narrow gaps. His face was wrapped in dirty, blood-stained bandages with 2 jagged holes for eyes. Those black pits were staring right at me. He didn't climb down. He dropped, like an animal, landing on all 4s. He didn't scream, he just started skittering toward me across the floor, his nails clicking against the hardwood like a giant spider. Click, click, click. I bolted. I hit the front door, sprinted to my car, and drove until I hit a gas station 5 miles away. I didn't look back. The police went in. They found the crawlspace, the mattress, the photos, but the man was gone. They told me he'd probably been living in there for over a decade. He knew every shortcut, every loose floorboard, every secret exit. He was a ghost in the machine. They found something else, too. Under the floorboards of that crawlspace, they found the remains of 3 other women. They had been missing for years. He had been living with them and then living with what was left of them. I live in a different city now, a high-rise apartment with solid concrete walls, no crawl spaces, no hollow corners. I have 4 different locks on my door and a security system that costs more than my rent. But last night, I felt it again. I felt the bed dip. I looked under the bed, shaking, crying, clutching a knife. Nothing. But this morning, when I went into the bathroom to get ready for work, I saw it. The mirror was fogged up again, but I hadn't even turned on the hot water yet. Written in the steam was a single word: soon. And then I noticed my toothbrush. It was sitting on the counter. It was soaking wet. In a low, chilling whisper, if you're listening to this alone and you think your walls are solid, just do me a favor. Go to your closet, knock on the back wall. If it sounds hollow, don't wait for him to knock back. Just run. Because he doesn't just want a place to stay. He wants to be the only thing you see when you finally close your eyes. Good night, Emily. I'll see you in the crawl space.